good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever it is you might be watching this Moab video. Oh, I get left behind a little bit because I'm busy fiddling with my camera and my gloves, and they're gone.
Where did they go?
I'm still up in the front of the pack, but Mendo and Yama Joe have just left me, which is fine. It was my fault. You know, when you're a cameraman slash motorcyclist, you have a lot of things to do before you hit the throttle. This is still Fins and Things. It's like the second part of the second half of Fins and Things. And we're going to stop up here in a little bit to take some pictures, and I'll be sure to show you that.
It's a totally different story when you're riding this far back from them. I need to get caught up so I can ride with them. And then they get in the sand and they just take off.
If you saw the thumbnail when hopefully you're receiving an email or when you do some searches and you saw this, it was titled, "What Does That Mean?" Well, today I'd like to talk about regional sayings or local sayings of things that you might know, and people around you might know what you're talking about. But when you go somewhere else, you go to another state, you go to another town even, you say something and people just don't, they look at you like, what are you trying to tell me? Well, that happened on this ride, and it was kind of funny because I live in the South, and I've been here for about half my life. And after a while, I mean, I always made fun of people and the different sayings that they would say when I moved here. But now that I'm here, I find myself saying them and not even thinking about it, not even knowing I'm doing it. And of course, that's what happens when you acclimate.
And here they go. Mendo's not ripping it like I thought he was in the sand section.
Some of the sayings have to do with accent, like when my wife wants to know about the tint of the car or the tent that she'll be taking camping. When she says those things, there is no difference in what she says. It's either tint and tint, and it's supposed to be tint and tent. But that's not what I'm talking about.
Hey, where's that section where you were with CDS and Stacy, and you're like, I didn't know this was here. That big overlook.
It's up there.
Okay, I was just curious.
Man, Doctor's doing for it. I think he said 64. He's doing good. Yeah.
Did they switch? Yeah, they switched.
While we're waiting for the rest of the pack, make sure you go back and check out CDS or Colorado Dual Sports videos and Aries 0909. I know they both have posted videos of this section. You can see what they were doing while we were waiting for them.
How many we got?
What?
How many we got?
We need one more. We need Jeff.
Which is, how many people?
I don't know.
10?
10.
This little hill climb does not look like much on camera, but look at this part right there. You see how steep? That is straight up and down. It looks like a little stair step, and it was intimidating for some of us.
Quite the vista. Moundy, 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 moundy. Jagged, 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 jagged. Hope the contours picking it up.
When I was first married and my wife would ask me to put something away, she would say to put it up. And it took me a while to figure out what she meant, you know, 1 or 2 encounters, of course, but then after that, I would always play with her because she would say, put this up, and I would pick whatever it was, and I would hold it high above my head, and I would say, how high would you like it? And she would say, stop that, you know what I mean. And that was just one of the many sayings that she would say. Another one was, plug this up. If she wanted me to plug something in, like the blender or something, or the vacuum, she would say, will you plug this up? And the sayings go on, and I'm about to say one now.
Are they gonna take pictures? No, I mean, everybody's... They're cutting their bikes, though.
The what?
They're cutting their bikes.
Cutting their bike?
Yeah,
Cutting them off.
following Betty.
That's a southern saying. If you cut it off.
I got it. I just
Put it down.
I mean, they were down there, and I didn't know what they were doing. I was like,
They're
what?
cutting their bike.
Yeah. Yeah, that in the south, if you cut it off.
You should have me picking up my bike on video. I turned my camera off because I did this part and there was nobody in view for me to watch or film.
I think we should line up the bikes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There's gonna
Yeah.
be a lot better overlook if we keep going.
Okay.
Okay, we'll trust you.
It's kind of out over these areas. All right. I think everyone's ready.
My wife and I moved back to Tennessee in 2000, and we had some friends move in later, became good friends, and they were from out west. And he came to me one day and he says, what does I don't care to mean? And I was like, what do you mean? He said that he was at work and he asked somebody to do something, and they said, yeah, I don't care to. And it took him, he just didn't understand what that meant. And he kind of was like, okay, thank you. And he didn't know if the guy was accepting what he was going to do for him, or if he was saying he wasn't going to do it. That's another saying that, you know, if you ask somebody, would you like to go motorcycle riding? Well, yeah, I don't care to. So there's lots of southern sayings that are making it popular nowadays, especially if you've been watching certain shows on television, like The Turtle Man and, of course, Duck Dynasty.
We're only my second day in the sand. It's still hard to keep up with Joe and that stuff. Heard the skid plate just get kicked with a rock.
So it's nice to see the South making a comeback, and our backwards way of talking is making its way to popularity. What kind of sayings do you have in your area? Or when you've been traveling and you've heard something that just you scratched your head and had no idea what they were trying to tell you? Let me know. Drop a comment. And thank you for watching.